Going on, big man?
How's it going, buddy?
Just doing good. Good yourself?
Pretty good, man. It's good to be able to conference you in on this. Yeah. So I
So
guess
let me ask you a question, because I went to that link and I just kind of got confused because it was like one guy's experience, but I didn't really see where it was, kind of going off rail. I mean, I skimmed through it, but I didn't really see where some guy was bashing it or.
okay, that was a Reddit post, and that's what spawned all of this. The It was like a preliminary preview of the upcoming book written by Ken Hoinsky,
Okay.
and I mean, it triggered a lot of feminists to criticize it as a rape guide, which I personally have read it. I mean, I can say it it was taken out of context, specifically because how-to guides are usually done in a chronological order, right? Where it's the order of the process. So chapter 7 of 9 was about physical escalation and sex, where he was talking about dominant things, where you would grab her and pull her in and stuff like that without really asking for verbal consent.
Okay.
And I think that's where it got blurry, because people who don't understand that, you don't ask for permission on everything you do when you're in the bedroom, and there's nonverbal cues that's where it got critics to just, cause an uproar.
Okay. I see. Because when I read it, I was like, it seems pretty legit to me.
Yeah. No, Steve Mayeda said the same thing. So, but I mean, as far as what you saw, did you didn't see anything controversial at all?
No, I think it's just a matter of, what guys have to do. And what I tell guys and women, because women kind of get a little, why do guys need this? And I say, well, think about it this way. And I say, getting laid for a man is a chore. Getting laid for a woman is a choice. And I say, that's simple. I go, if you want to see what it's actually like to be a guy, because guys have to go out there and pursue. Women don't understand that concept of it. They can't even fathom what it's like to go and approach a guy. It's just because you don't need to do it, because guys approach women. And I say, if you really want to understand like the psychology behind it, go out on a corner, hold one of those signs that say, will you give me money? Or, please help me, and see how that feels, because that's the exact feeling that most guys have when they approach a woman. And so, unfortunately, women don't understand that aspect of it. It's that guys have to learn these skills. If they don't learn them, they're going to become lonely. And the biggest thing that these guys want to do is they want to improve. They want to gain knowledge in this area. They want to gain insight. They want to gain more wisdom as far as, what are things to do so that they don't look like an asshole. And women don't understand this. They can't even comprehend it because it doesn't happen to them. So they're seeing out of this little box in the corner, but that perspective isn't even in their consciousness because they don't live that reality. And if a guy's afraid and he's afraid to better himself and learn about it, then guess what? He's going to live a lonely life. And that's what this whole thing comes down to is a person willing to educate himself to get more insight so he can actually have someone in his life that he loves or he cares about, and he does that. Because if he doesn't learn those skills, it's going to be a sad, lonely life for that guy. And that's really what this whole thing is about to me.
Right. I mean, that's an interesting concept as far as that holding the sign on the street comparison, because I've heard a lot of other people say this more articulately than what I'm about to, but basically, when a guy does an approach in the wrong way and he has a sense of neediness, it almost comes off as a homeless person complimenting you because they want your money.
It's the same thing, or a homeless person asking you for money. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
we have to go up there and. Women have the power when it comes to that because that's where they're at. But men also have the power if they don't give a shit.
Right.
If they're like, hey, you know what, this is going to be, it's a numbers game no matter what. And if you don't learn it, you're going to come across. And guess what? We have to be in that position. Because if you're going to meet a woman, you have to be in that position. That's just the way it goes. So, yeah, we're going to stumble. We're going to fall. But we're doing it to educate ourselves and not just be like back in the caveman day where we went out there and hit them over the head and dragged them off.
Right. Now, in times like this, regardless of the logic behind what the critics are saying, do you still think it's important for the dating coaches to come forward and advocate on behalf of their clients who are if the entire demographics being attacked? Do you think it's important for the coaches to speak?
No, I don't think it's important for the coaches to speak at all, because the fact that people are going to have their opinion. Women aren't going to be swayed. The feminists aren't going to be changed. They're going to find their little angle. They're going to find their little area to defend, and that's what they're going to do. And there's just people out there that want to look for shit to bitch about. So it doesn't matter. We could bitch about, hey, women lie to men all the time. Physically lying, they put on makeup. We don't even know what they look like. They're lying to us right from the start. So are we sitting there going, hey, you guys are bullshitting us because we don't even know what we're getting? You guys put on makeup, you put on fake bras, you put on hair makeup, or dye your hair, you put on lipstick, you get all that shit. Are we bitching? No. If you want to be a whiny little bitch about life, then you're going to have that, and you're not going to change to it. There's just assholes out there, and people are going to bitch and complain no matter what. I like to say it's like a YouTube video. I saw a YouTube video where a guy was in his boat and there was a whale, and the whale was trapped in a net. It was stuck, and the guy actually jumped out of the boat and he cut the whale free from the net. 2,000 people liked it, and there was like 200 people that hated it. They thought it was a bad video. There's just assholes in the world this day and age, and the people that open their mouth the most are usually the ones that are the most angry, that are the most resentful. They're the ones that just don't get that there's a balance between everything, and they're going to see through their rose-colored lenses what they want to see. So, do I try to convince people of stuff like that? Not at all. Life's going to go on. If you're doing good, it's going to come back to you, and it's just kind of the golden rule. No matter what you do, they're going to bitch and complain. And just get them out of your life the quickest. People that will learn about that will be drawn to it. The people that are going to see what they see in anything, it's kind of like poo hate.
Right.
No matter what you do, every person that's out there is a scam artist or a charlatan. It's not going to change a thing.
As far as the balance, though, I mean, when critics come forward with arguments, do you think it can occasionally help some of the more misogynistic teachings come back to a good balance, and give us a chance to address the stereotypes that may have some truth to them?
To me, it's going to come down to the individual. When you're trying to group anything together, you talk like talk shows. You got good talk shows, you got bad talk shows. You have ones that try to help Oprah. You have ones that try to just ruin humanity, like Jerry. What's his name? Was it Jerry
Springer?
Yes, Jerry Springer. No matter what, it's a category, and there's going to be left end, there's going to be right end. Just like politics, there's going to be good ones, there's going to be bad guys. There's going to be cops, there's going to be good cops, there's going to be bad cops. Trying to control it or label all cops are this way, it's just asinine. It shows the ignorance in the people speaking. Does that make sense?
It does, and I completely agree that, judging anyone by a class or category rather than individual merit, I mean, that's the definition of discrimination, and it doesn't really achieve anything. But at the same time, I feel that there's a sense of change on the horizon in the pickup world, just because there's a lot of names that we've seen remove themselves, and there's still a lingering sense of Neil's book and what so forth. So, I mean, as far as anything that you think may or may not need to be changed for this community to evolve, are there any ideas or perspectives you have?
Well, it's hard for me to say that because I don't consider myself a part of the community, even though I teach at these things. I was around before the book came out, and we didn't call it pickup. Right. We called it, learn to become a better man, educating yourself, whatever it is it was. The community came on because the booking was labeled, and I think it was labeled wrong. I think it was labeled in a very unuseful way. This is a men's movement to better educate themselves on social dynamics. That's really what it was. So when you label it and you put the stereotype or the paradigm around it, or the frame around it as you're a pickup artist. You just you identified yourself with that's what it is. That's your identity, a pickup artist. You're not a human being trying to educate himself. You're a pickup artist. And when people tap into that and think that they are, now that's who they are, then it's not a good thing, because that's what their identity is based on. And it's a component of it, but it's not the whole thing. So, I can't really say, because I believe it's going to weed out. I mean, I've seen it since before it even happened. And I've seen the different trends happen. I see when it first came out after the game, everybody was there. And if you look around, where are the people now? You don't see the websites. They're not pitching the same stuff. Why? Because the money's gone. People realize that there wasn't. Some people made a lot of money because they marketed okay. But now look at every Tom, Dick, and Harry is a pickup artist. And to me, now it's getting more mainstream. I mean, look at Vogue magazine or Cosmo. Every single article is how to get a man to fall in love with you within six days. How to keep your man in bed. Do we sit there and give shit about that? No, it's a part of society. What about the book called The Rules, where it says how to pull bullshit on guys?
I did a complete review on that book. I know exactly what you're talking about. It was very it had controversy too when it came out in 1995, and the whole idea of concealing information to try and play a mysterious role, and draw them in over time was, I would say it is a good counterbalance to the some of the stuff that's taught in pickup.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, there's pickup artists that I know that are psychos. There's pickup artists that I know that are unconventional. There's pickup artists that I know that are right on track. So to me, it's just like who's doing the who's giving the information. Like when people give me shit, I go, have you even listened to my stuff? No. If you can find anything that's misogynistic in anything that I do, I'll give you $1,000. And they never want to take the challenge because they already have their preconceived ideas about what it is, and you're never going to prove anyone wrong that thinks that they're right. So to me, it's just a waste of time. It's going to go on. Guys that are interested are going to learn. Women are going to bitch. Women are going to complain. And if you put the focus on there, follow the money trail, it's going to come back to someone trying to sell a book. And that's what it is. Cause controversy, book sell. It's not going anywhere. And like I said, this has been around since day one. I think be grateful that guys are trying to educate themselves instead of don't have any idea about what to do. So maybe, one or two bad techniques are out there, or one or two bad seeds are out there. But as a whole, it's most men. I've never put it this way. In 20 years of educating men on the subject, I've never had a guy say, hey, I want to rape a chick. I've never had a guy say, hey, I want to manipulate a chick into bed. Okay? And most guys that I talk to, they just want to better themselves, and most are completely against this whole thing. Maybe, like I said, you got your random psychopath, but you got your random psychopaths anywhere. Hell, you had a NASA astronaut drive across country in diapers to hog tie and kill her lover's fucking girlfriend. There's psychos out there. I don't care what background you're coming for. So, but to do that, to label the whole thing, it's really just complete just ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm a little fried today. I've been working all day and I got up early, so I'm not as crisp as I normally am.
Oh, I'm in a carb coma right now too. So yeah. No, am
I going the right direction, or
yeah? No,
I'm not the best writer in the world, so I thought you're a writer, so maybe you can say, okay, this is kind of what my spin on it is. But to me, it's like defend what? Defend a philosophy, defend a pool of knowledge. If you take everything and you boil it down, what percentage is misogynistic? Maybe 1%, maybe 2%. But, the guys that are that way, they don't really have a big following. They have maybe 1 or 2. Look at some of the pickup artists, I think, let's just say here, he's not misogynistic, but he's kind of out there, and he posts pictures of him kissing every other girl. Is that helping man, or is it not? To me, it's just kind of putting him in a light, which is kind of like an insecure light. It's showing like he's trying to be something and make that. So there's guys like that. There's guys like who, in my opinion, probably haven't slept with more than 10 girls, but he's saying that he's, a speed seduction guru. Okay, it's philosophy. You got guys. I think I put myself. Steve Mayeda puts out good stuff. It's just learning the basics. I know lots of guys do, but it's really just educating the process so that we're not out there looking like complete assholes, knowing what not to do.
Right. I mean, yeah, I like the observation that very few sociopaths are out there in general, and it's something I put in my my own words, in the article. But I mean, personally, I have a compassion for the guys that I meet because I see they're genuine, and they come from these heartbreaking breakups, and yeah, they're just generally pretty nice. They just are taking really small baby steps and being extremely precautious because they want to play it safe rather than take a risk, even if that risk is not in any way life threatening. So,
but that's not completely true because it is life threatening. I've known 5 guys probably in my entire life that didn't even know this thing, but have killed themselves over a woman because she broke up with them. They didn't have the skills, and they became lonely, and they killed themselves. So it is a life and death thing to me. And if you don't get good at these skills, if you don't learn them, if you don't have a certain education or awareness about them, consciously, in God, I'm just off today, an unconscious competence, then what are you going to do? You're going to sit there and just play Nintendo all day long and live that. Like I said, it comes back to that loneliness. If you don't have the skills and you can't go out there, and remember, women aren't always the nicest fucking people in the world when you go up to them in a club. Guys will walk up to a woman, hey, excuse me, they'll fucking give them the hand. They'll just roll their eyes. They'll turn, what do we think? Do you think that, that's a man hater? They have their defense systems. They have their offenses. They have their defenses. And so do guys. We're learning an offense. We have a defense. Guys need to learn a defense. So like I said, it really comes back to just enlightening the social structure of meeting people and dynamics and how to do things. And everyone's not going to get it right. Every person's different. So it's kind of up in the air. But like I said, when if anything, it'll bring more guys to it because the article goes out, the book goes out, it gets more publicity. Guys that are seeking will be like, well, let me go look at this. So if anything, it's just going to bring more people to the table. And like I said, those that are going to learn are going to learn the truth. Those that are on the outside that don't care to step into the circle, they're going to have their own opinion of it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they're going to live their lives, and guys that want to get better are going to learn their lives.
So would it be an accurate interpretation to say that you feel the amount of attention pickup gets and the amount of acceptance it gets is going to remain the same because the same general percentage of society actually goes out to make a difference in their own life?
Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it's only going to get more people because as more people get computers, as more other countries around the world tap into this era of educating themselves online, there's only going to be more people. It's only going to snowball into a bigger, better effect, I think, because all the bullshit stuff will go out. People that teach misogynistic stuff, they're not going to last, unless they're just a complete psycho and they have like their own little cult following. But that's few and far in between. If anything, it's only going to get bigger, and as time goes on, the information is going to get more detailed. It's going to get more descriptive, and all the fluff shit that didn't work is going to be out of the way, and the basics are going to be there. The first principles. Once you understand the first principles, like I said, it's a step forward, and from there, it's just continuing to go deeper into the different psychologies. New angles, new perspectives are going to come out, and those that are around that are doing the work are going to uncover it. Those that aren't.
Right.
So to me, it's just there's just way too many people. I mean, there's like I said, there's 3 billion guys out there. If you get 1 million guys following, that's still a huge percentage, and that's a lot of guys. And there's going to be guys that don't give a shit, that are going to treat women like hell, that are going to abuse women, that they're going to do that. And guess what? Women will be attracted to that as well. So to me, it's just what's going to happen is going to happen. What's not going to happen isn't going to happen, and all the bullshit stuff isn't going to ever last.
Right. I would definitely agree with that.
20 years I've been educating men on getting better with their social strategies and their self-confidence. And And all I can say is that guys that are going to want to improve are going to put the time in. And I've yet to have any guy, and I've trained thousands of guys worldwide, ever come up and say, hey, I want to do this to manipulate this chick to fall in love with me. You know, every single guy that I've come at have basically just wanted to do it to get better with their own self. And, you know, that's how I can just wrap it up. That's, I mean, like I said, there's nothing too earth-shattering about it. It's very, very matter of fact. And all the rest is hype. It's like news. It's like TMZ these days. You know, where's the real news? Like, look at people trying to make up shit, trying to make a name for themselves. But to me, like, we're going to be there no matter what. It's going to go on. After this wave of bullshit happens and the feminists speak up and they think that they've spread their word, you know, they're going to go away, and the teachings are still going to be there. And new guys are going to come in, new guys are going to go out, and it's going to continue. That's just the way it is. You know?
Definitely.
You know, I wish I had more for you. I'm just.
Oh, it's honestly, you know, that's definitely a great overview of it all, and I mean, you know, I don't want to have you repeat yourself.
Like I said, I'm very unaffected by it. To me, it's like I'm like the old fucking cow on the hill who's like, hey, you know, the old bull going, hey, let's go down and fuck that one. When the other ones are like, oh shit, like let's go down. You know, no. It's, you know, like the hype's gonna come. People are gonna get mad, but. I've been around. I've seen the waves that come, they go, they come, they go. But it's just like a good stock. It's going to keep on going up. You know, it's going to drop. It's going to go up. It's going to drop. But for the most part, if it's a good stock, it's going to steadily climb. It's going to split. You're going to get your dividends, and it's going to split again. And if you hold on to it, it's going to be worth it in the long run.
Right. Absolutely, man. No, I agree. And it's definitely crucial, I think, for anybody, whether they're in the industry or, you know, a client just looking for help, to do their best to overcome the criticism, because occasionally it'll come from even, you know, the closest loved ones, and that's when, you know, they're really challenged the most, I think, as opposed to just, you know, nameless critics on the internet.
Well, even if it comes from your loved ones, all you have to say is, do you even know what this is about?
Right.
You know, it's straight ignorance. When anyone tries to form an opinion based on nothing except for their own ideas about it without studying, it's pure ignorance. And so, you know, it's easily defended. You just go, hey, do you know anything about it? Well, why don't you read this book, and this book? And then you'll start to have maybe an educated opinion about it. Because if not, then it doesn't even matter what they say. Because, I mean, would you, if someone was just absolutely ignorant on any subject, they're trying to give you your opinion, would you even give a shit? Or would you just be like, hey, man, unless you educate yourself, like, I don't even want to listen to you because it's a waste of time. Because you have your opinion, you're sticking to it, but you're uneducated. So, you know, to me, it's on you. I had for example, with the lifestyle I live, you know, I have a wife across the street. My girlfriend lives across the street. They all know about each other. That's just the lifestyle that I live. My parent, you know, my parents are very old school, and they found out, and they were like, well, I can't believe it. And I said, whoa. You live your life. I live my life. You know, yours is correct for you. Mine is correct for me. You know, don't try to tell me about it's not going to work and all this other shit, because you haven't done it. I've done it for 5 years, and it works the way I want it. So your opinion is just being ignorant. And I can say that to my father. My father is an educated man. And I said, so you don't know. You have what you want to believe, and I have what I'm doing. That's the beautiful thing about being different.
Right.
And he couldn't argue because of the fact that it was based on his own opinion, and he knows nothing about it. And just the same with the other people. I mean, look at, for example, another thing is, look at this Zimmerman case. If you've even gone to the Yahoo and you just read the comments, you just realize there's people that are going to poke their nose into everything. They're going to have their opinion on everything, and they're not going to back down. Whether this guy's innocent, which it looks like, you know, he is. But there's people that are so stuck in that way of believing that no matter what, you know, he's going to die, we're going to kill him. For what? You don't even know what it's about. You saw a 12-year-old kid's picture up, and you saw this big Mexican guy who's now white, and, you know, it's what they're feeding you. And they're going to feed it to you, you're going to eat it, then you're an idiot. That's the simple way that it is. You know,
right.
And I don't want mindless tools coming into this area of education. If you're going to believe an article like this and be swayed by it, you don't even deserve to be in here. This is about education. This is about getting better as a man, not about being some mindless sheep that's going to believe everything he reads. If he's really into it, he'll do his due diligence and study. And I doubt any feminist will ever go to these things. Same thing about hypnosis. Okay, like sometimes I have religious people. I'm going to hell. They don't even know anything about it. Because I'm doing the devil's work. It's just ignorance, and it's like next. It's like a merry-go-round of idiots, just all around. You don't get on the ride, you don't ride round and round. You just go to a different ride.
Right. No, I agree about, telling critics to educate themselves, especially when they're close to you and their opinions are valued, and message especially, I think, goes out to the guys who are just starting to come into this with the curiosity about what it's all about and aren't really sure where to get started on how to evaluate all of the things that are marketed, because it's, it is kind of intimidating if you're a comparison shopper looking, from such a beginning point of view. I was in that position at one point, so.
Yeah, and I unfortunately with the marketers, like I know people that are marketing themselves as experts that, like I said, couldn't get laid out of a box. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. However, if you start getting deeper and deeper into it, you're going to start to see the people that have been around, that have been teaching some good, true knowledge and wisdom, and you're going to put your time into it. Like I said, this isn't something that is just a fly-by-night. You don't read a book and all of a sudden you master women. This is something that you're going to continually work on. That's just the way it is. So, this book is good. Hey, you read a book on investing over here, it was fucking crap. But do I stop with that book and say all investing's lame? No. You find another book, and then maybe, hey, this has got some good stuff in it, and have another book. If they're going to get in, they're going to immerse themselves in it. They're going to go deep. If not, they're just going to fly, and they're going to be on the surface like 90% of the people anyways. They're going to start something and stop it. And I don't want to teach those people. I want the people that really want to change their life, that want to get better, that want to understand the true dynamics, that want to bring love into their life.
Very well put.
Yeah, that's about it.
I agree. I mean, yeah. Right.
Like if you're going to be a pickup artist, and I've said this, if you're going to be a pickup artist, and I'm not saying it from a point of view of like prove yourself, but if you haven't fucked 100 girls, okay, you really probably shouldn't be teaching it, because you don't know enough about the dynamics about what's really involved. And like I said, the unfortunate thing about it, and this is where I could say the unfortunate thing about it, is there's guys out there that are not adept at teaching. They're not congruent. They don't have it integrated, so they give bad advice. When they give bad advice because it's not based on reality, it's based on theory, and what sounds good, they're going to lead guys up a certain wall. And unfortunately, if they go to a boot camp, you have to be able to be integrative in your approach and show this is how you do it easily. Okay, the girl walked away, no big deal. What are these other guys? They try and they try and they try, but they haven't got the results. They haven't, been intimate with 100 women. They've been intimate with 5 girls, and now they're the next guru. That's the bad part of it. You got guys that aren't effective, that aren't fluent in this language of love, trying to teach it like they are. And then, unfortunately, guys go there and they learn from an incompetence, from a model that doesn't work, and they don't get the results. And so they get discouraged. That's the bad part of the community. And the good part is they get guys sometimes that are good. And when they get guys that are good, that understand what they're doing, that have been around, that could give you the ups and downs and the sideways and the real theories that work because of time and they're tested, then a person gets better. So that's where it can't go wrong if you want kind of a bad side to it.
Right. No, I agree. And from a personal experience, the irony for me was when I took my only 3-day boot camp that I actually paid for before I started reviewing them for people. I actually ended up being friends with one of the students who so far has proven to be more skilled than the majority of the coaches I've met, because he went in that class already familiar with women, having grown up in Beverly Hills, always been involved, very well educated, and the coach who taught us, JT Tran, put it best when describing him, is that it's hard to feed someone who's never really hungry, So he's become one of my closest friends, and yeah, I find it amusing to differentiate his perspective on women from the marketed stuff, because
Yeah.
he just took it as a personal experience to see if the hype was really true.
And now we're kind of getting into bad stuff. Maybe another thing is, people got to remember is, look, we're in the beginning. Like, what I consider what we were doing in the beginning was a men's movement educating the social dynamics. So to me, it's a men's movement. That's what it is. And we're in the infantile stage of it. This is the first time men have actually like come together to share their thoughts on love, share their thoughts on pickup, share their thoughts on women. This is the first time. It's just now happening. So of course there's going to be bad information. There's going to be bad things that happen. There's going to be bad people because it's in the infantile stage. And like I said, as that gets whittled down, 20 years from now, it's going to be completely different. So to say that it's kind of come from this unconscious, under the closet, under the blanket, under the carpet type of education, to now we're opening up. Hey, we're opening up the same thing that anyone opened up. The gay movement. Blacks. Coming out for their own freedom. There's bad shit that happens in the beginning because there's just a lot of ignorance around the whole thing. So it's not like I said, it's not going anywhere.
No, I agree. And
be glad that it started.
It is a very accurate observation to say it's in an infantile stage, because, yeah, I mean, it takes enough humility for men to drop their egos and admit to their bad habits to other men. Even if they are protected by a username in a forum. So
it's not only bad habits; it's insecurities.
Right.
It's what society's tried to cram down our throat about what it means to be a man. So we're kind of fucking confused a little bit, but we're working it out so that we can be better. And if they want to bring it back into the closet and say it's bad, hey, you're gonna have a lot more fucked up people out there. So I would say be glad it's happening.
Yeah, definitely. Any other last thoughts at all?
No, I can't really say, man. Just that kind of tweezed up and tightened up is basically all that needs to be said. Is we're like I said, we're at the infantile stage. There's so much more to explore, but we're off on a good foot. When 90% of the guys are wanting something good, then hey, we're going to get a lot of good stuff out of it, and it's only going to get better. And it's not going anywhere. It's a movement. It's a men's movement, and this is the first time that's really kind of come around. And what's already been laid as the foundation is 90% pretty good, and it's only, like I said, it's only going to get better. And so whatever people want to throw to points, they threw sticks and poked people, black and white marriage. That was such a bad thing. Rock and roll, hey, that was the devil's work. That was such a bad thing. Gay and lesbian marriage, that's fucking horrible. Smoking marijuana, like, oh my God, reefer madness, it's evil. Okay, but look, it all took its shots. It's all lasted, and they're all doing pretty well. It's only getting better.
Right.
That's really it.
Yeah, no, I agree, man.
And then you got to follow up the article with, walking around in your bathing suit.
Oh, the Borat suit?
Yeah, so this is the kind of stuff that we're doing to get better as men. Where we can walk around like this. That's the cool thing.
And get hit on by 76-year-olds.
Yeah, man, why not? Okay, so we have interracial love. Why not, intergeneration?
Exactly.
Four-generation different love. That'll be the next thing of it. So yeah, it's like I said, man, it's all good, and we're just getting better, and that's all I can say about it, really.
No, I agree, and that's one of the reasons I did contact you, is because you're not as into the PUA stuff as a lot of the other guys are, yet you're still, one of the main names up there on the billboard for this entire convention and so forth. So it speaks a lot about, how broad self-help really is.
Yeah, cool. Well, good luck with that, man. It's rock and roll. You got your work cut out, but I'm looking forward to reading your article and promoting it for you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'll be in touch. Give me a call or email me if you have any questions. But yeah, this should have some really good ripples.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. It's it's glad to have a pen voice that's a voice for the community, no matter how big or how small it is. It's good to have someone in there that's doing your thing. That's cool.
Definitely, man.
All right, brother. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, I'll talk to you soon, Eric.
Bye-bye.
Later, man.